Hello everyone and happy Sunday and welcome back to Crosshatch Puzzles. We're here for another New York Times Daily Crossword Solve. Today is Sunday, October 19th, 2025, and today's Sunday theme puzzle is by Daniel Grinberg, and it bears the intriguing title, Same Difference. We also have, we can see a couple of circled squares there in the grid. So we'll see what Daniel has planned for us today for our Sunday New York Times crossword. Let's get solving. Huge success. Could be like a smash hit on Broadway. That is often an entry, but I'm not totally positive. Seal, say. Seal could have a lot of different meanings. Excuse me. From the beginning is usually a new blank sequencing lab technique. Normally this is gene sequencing, but that obviously doesn't fit. Here I have a feeling this is going to be some kind of abbreviation, sort of hinted at by the fact that lab is short for laboratory, I think, but I'm not sure what it is. Lively bohemian dances, probably polkas. Alternative to a tissue, informally, a hanky for a handkerchief as opposed to a tissue to blow your nose. A bit in a hippie's necklace. I don't know. Poker declaration. I raise, maybe? Does that look okay with the crosses? It does. Could be that. Remove as a ribbon. Untie? Maybe. Share confidences with. Share confidences with. Not sure. Business traveler's convenience. And here we have a circled square at the end. So not sure if there's going to be a complete answer here or what is going on. And divisions on a map, similarly 28 across, also has a thing in it. Okay. A Brian songwriter who popularized the term generative music, probably Brian Eno. Let's check some downs and see if we can start to piece together these theme entries. Food enlivener, probably a spice. Hardly a genius, a moron. Home to a chapel with the Texas flag lying beside it, probably the Alamo. Spotify button, skip. Loves the occasion. The occasion. Hurls, chucks maybe? Can't think of what else would fit with the HU there, and I'm fairly confident about both of those. Feature of a Hawaiian house, a lanai, I think. Lanai. It's sort of a back covered patio kind of thing. I mostly know this from having watched many a Golden Girls episode. They have one, even though they're not in Hawaii, they're in Miami, but anyway. Being prosecuted on trial. Go downhill fast. Say. So ski would be one answer here, but then I don't know what's going on with the circled square. Seal, say to close maybe, and then eye candy is a phrase. Okay, so ski looks like the answer here, but what then is this? Business, oh, what about this? Mexicali Mister, a senor. Company card, business traveler's convenience. Company card. Oh, that's so cool. I think I understand what's going on here. Okay. So these answers, the entries, could be read with or without the circled square. So company card would answer the clue, business travel's convenience, but it could also be a company car. Similarly here, to go downhill fast, say, could be to ski or to skid. I think is what's going on here. Let's find out. Second volume could be book 2. Over there, poetically, could be yawn. I would have thought has a blast, but fight back's tears. Fights back tears. Fights back tears. Could be darns, as into darn socks, in order to fight back tears in the sock. It's over a quarter of a quarter. It's over a quarter of a quarter. Are we talking fractions? If we're talking fractions, a quarter of a quarter is a 16th, which does not help me at all. Okay. Has a ball, could be has a ball, loves the occasion. National Arab American Heritage Month. Well, 5 letters and ending in L, if that is has a ball, is going to have to be April. Over a quarter of a quarter, a dime, I guess. It's also over a third of a quarter, but that's not quite as nifty a clue. Interrupter of dreams, maybe an alarm clock. Genre for Keith Haring, not sure here. Political platforms, question mark. What kind of platforms? Having or have an ominous presence. To loom large is to have an ominous presence. Arched recess, probably an apse, a bit of an architectural feature there that often pops up in the grid. Word with pack or rug. Pack rat, rug rat. Rostra, political platform. So a rostrum is like a dais or a podium on which one might speak. The plural of rostrum is rostra in its original Latin. A corn chip with a fuego flavor. Oh, what are these things called? Tacky or whatever. Those chips. Very spicy, apparently. Blesses okays, as in blesses an endeavor or something, project. Pop culture hit about dystopian technology. Pop culture hit about dystopian technology. Why pop culture? Mr. Robot? Mr. Roboto? Trying to figure out, we're still guessing at this with and without kind of thing here. I'm not sure. What if this is robot? Tribute in the Tribune, say, an obit, an obituary. Get involved is... Get involved. Not sure. Senior, informally, an old person? Guthrie, who sang Alice's Restaurant, is Arlo Guthrie. Bureaucratic barriers, probably red tape. Person I truly am, the real me. Saxon's foe, a Celt. Both tribes in medieval, pre-medieval Britain. C to Surat. Surat, a French artist, I think. And he would have called the sea La Mer. Former parent of NBC. I don't know. Senior informally. Oldster? Could be. Fuel source. And so we're going to want... Okay, so this is going to be Mr. Robot or Mr. Roboto. Mr. Robot, I believe, a film, and Mr. Roboto, a song. Both, I guess, about dystopian technology. And fuel source is going to be either gasoline or gas line. Both could work, with or without the O. In the vein of could be a la, as in the vein a la a particular artist or something like that. To get involved is to step in, as into an altercation, to intervene. Olaf's creator in Frozen. What do we mean creator? The person who originated the role as the voice actor? Creator. Oh, no, literally the creator, the character who creates the snowman is Elsa. Native of the Delaware Valley. I don't know. Canniest, for instance. You know, I don't even know what canny means. I know what uncanny means, which kind of means abnormal or off-putting. Self-admiring sort. Egoist? Maybe? Let's go up here and see if we can fill in some more of these. Place to hang at home. A closet. You can hang things in the closet. Process for would-be Greeks. Greeks. Oh, as in sorority and fraternity people. Process. I'm not sure what they mean by this. It's usually like a pledge and some kind of hazing and stuff. I'm not really sure what they mean by this. Michelle Obama to Princeton, an alumna. I believe she went to Princeton. Features of the names of many Apple products. A lowercase i's, I should say. Features, we want plural. Lowercase i's. The iPhone, iOS, I don't know what else they have. iPod, I guess. What about this? Sound of a joke going over one's head. Whoosh, maybe. To openly reveal one's sexuality is to come out. Organization that confiscates liquids, the TSA, liquids over 100 milliliters in your carry-on anyway. Hey from on high. Hey from on high. What? Up here, you could say. If you're calling down to someone from on high, you could say up here. Care to dance? Shall we? Competitive athlete's goal, perhaps. Top something. Is this RCA, the former parent of NBC? That could be. That feels amazing, as in a massage. You could say, smallish batteries. Oh, maybe that's not right. Artist's feedback session informally. Feedback session. Perceptive. Something's wrong, I think. Alan with 6 Emmys. Alan Alda of MASH. Does he have 6 Emmys? They may be caught in the summer. Caught. Rays of sunshine may be caught. Cells, double A, cells, maybe spelt like this. Perceptive. Shrewd, maybe, could be perceptive. An artist's feedback section informally could be a crit, as in a critique, I guess. Top competitive athlete's goal perhaps could be top speed or top seed, meaning the top ranking in a tournament, which you would get by achieving highly prior to that tournament. Either of those answers would work, with or without the P there. And then eliminators of some teams could be either playoffs, which would eliminate sports teams, or layoffs, which would eliminate teams of employees. This looks like it is Alan Alda after all. Prefix with sphere, ecosphere maybe. Knocked out of the park, as in a test, you aced. To flow out is to effuse. Keys above C's are D flats on the piano. Rapper Flo Milli, I don't really know. Composer who led the U.S. Marine Band, yes, is Sousa, so Flo Milli it looks like. Hawaiian Shindig is a luau. Pursuers of utopian goals are idealists. Tops. Lips, maybe? Like the top of a canyon? I'm not confident about that. Major Ukrainian seaport, is this Odessa? Tops could be lids. Lids looks better than lips. Hung around idly. I feel like this is going to be 2 words maybe, but I don't see it. Pilgrims in Saudi Arabia. Is this Hajis? Pilgrims to the Mecca. Lifts with a pulley. Hoists. We had that in a puzzle the other day. Dear blank. Greeting an old advice column. Anne, I think, maybe. Overly fault finding. Ooh. I don't know. Hung around idly, not 2 words, but could be loitered. Hybrid pastry, a cronut, cross between a croissant and a donut. I don't know if I'd call a donut a pastry exactly, but sure. Entered quickly. Don't know. Hide. To hide. Does it mean hide like a... I think it means hide in the verb sense. To flow out. To ooze out? That doesn't look good with this. Sneaky plot. A ruse? To flow out. To pour out? Not fully open could be ajar. Looks like it is pour, but then I have no idea what that is. Or this, canniest, for instance. Oh. Oh my god, that's such a good clue. It's not talking about what canniest is an example of, but it's saying the word canniest is an anagram for the word instance. Canniest for the word instance is an anagram. Wow, that's a really, really great clue. Oh man. Surgical instrument. I don't know. Coffees that aren't single origin. Blends. Channel supported by pledge drives. PBS, the public broadcasting system, I think. Jenny from the Block, singer to fans. Oh, who is this? Clothes for a doze in brief. PJs. This is J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. Sisterly, sororal. The soror root is the root that means sister. I don't know that I've heard the word sororal, but that is what would fit, and seems like if I was trying to construct an adjective that meant sisterly using the root soror, that probably would be what I came up with. Immune cell variation. I don't know. Sorry, I'm unavailable. Ear-related prefix. Ear-related. A-U-R? Doesn't look good. Tried to convey. Surgical instrument. I still don't see that. Palm Springs or Puerto Vallarta, notably. We want a singular here because we've got or. I mean, these are like resorts. Beach towns. Palm Springs is in Florida. Puerto Vallarta. Well, there's Puerto Vallartas everywhere, but I think the one they want is in Mexico. Gelatinous thickener. Is this agar? Nickname for Rachel. Ray? Ooh. Blank Valley. Is this going to be Napa Valley? I'm not really sure of that. This probably is an R, which means this is probably agar. Turned up. Injection associated with a certain toxin. Injection. Toxin. Ooh. Shade lighter than cappuccino. Some kind of light brown. Sand, maybe? Verbally expresses disdain. So it's going to end in a S, I think so. The Grapes of Wrath family, is it Jones or James, maybe? Turned up. Turned up. Ooh, this area is going to be tricky. What if this is some kind of town? And what if this is Jones? Shade lighter than cappuccino, then that doesn't really work here. Immune cell variation. Tried to convey. Verbally expresses disdain. Let's come back to that area. Tightly packed could be dense. Actor Davis, who delivered Malcolm X's eulogy. P to Pericles, the letter shaped like our letter P in ancient Greek and modern Greek is the letter Rho. It's actually the equivalent of our letter R, but it looks like a P and is given in our alphabet, in the Roman alphabet, as the letter P. Food traditionally eaten with chopsticks, probably ramen. Songs on Sundays could be hymns if Sundays signified church. Tale-telling brothers are the Grimms. Neighbor of a Saudi could be a Yemeni, someone from Yemen. Aussie Davis, maybe, looks like it. Delays of some kind, annoyances for ticket holders, delays. Mojito garnish could be a lime. Overly fault-finding could be judgy. Rain delays or train delays. Rain delays might be annoyances for holders of tickets to baseball games or other sports games or outdoor venue concerts. Train delays would be annoyances for obviously train ticket holders. To hide. See, I want a verb that has secret in it, but I don't like secrete is not the right word. That means something different. Brown songbirds, maybe wrens. Does that work here? 50,000 watt clear channel radio station in Iowa. I have no idea why anyone would know what that is. A decorative auto upgrade. Trim or rim. Oh, that's nice. Warning signs. Omens, maybe? This looks like it is going to be secrete. I don't like that. Entered quickly could be ran in, and strike up the band could be hit it. So this could be the WHO, I guess? Secrete. I've not heard of that definition of the word secrete. Usually secrete means to like emit some kind of liquid, some fluid from your body. Anyway, New York City Stadium eponym. Is this Arthur Ashe, who lends his name to to the tennis court at Flushing Meadows? Could be. Oppressive political regime, so to speak, with the... I don't know. Lost all liquid resources. Went dry? Maybe. Indulge in... I don't know. Doll of a guy? Ken? Of Ken and Barbie? Giant Middle-earth creature could be an ent. Vitals checker in brief could be an emergency medical technician. The system could be an oppressive political regime. To indulge in could be to partake in, and partake is much less sort of biased a word than indulge, but sure. Broadband initials, DSL maybe, is a mode of broadband connection. Remove hair from. Remove hair from. Don't see that. Chili. Orange juice preference, no pulp. With no one ahead or behind. A bit in a hippie's necklace. I still don't know what that is. Share confidences with. Open up to? Maybe? Chili. Three laugh cry emojis. Process for would-be Greeks. Rush? Lush? Push? Hush? Gosh, like what? Bush? I don't know what this is. Maybe rush. I have a feeling that like that's ringing a vague bell as like some part of the process of joining a sorority. This could be ROFL, rolling on the floor laughing, possibly as a sort of intensified LOL kind of thing. And then chili could be aloof as a personality. Divisions on a map could be countries or counties, and ruptures could be bursts or busts. With no one ahead or behind could be even. Remove hair from. I don't know this word, I don't think. Main antagonist on HBO's Euphoria. I haven't seen it. Clamors could be adoos. DNA sequencing, maybe? Is this depilate? Is this a love bead and the main antagonist is Nate? I'm just going to have to go with that. How about this? Tried to convey. Convey. What meaning of convey do they want here? Convey. This will have to be a vowel, I would think. These two have to be correct. I'm not sure about this, so maybe I'll take that out. Not really sure about Jones either, but... Turned up. Maybe this is Judd's. What about this? Serum? Surgical instrument. Turned up. Appeared? If someone turned up? Oh, no. Well, it could be, but then what's this? Tried to convey. Shade lighter than cappuccino could be ecru, which is an off-white. Verbally expresses disdain could be tuts, and then tut. Tried to convey. I'm guessing at some of these things. This could be like an anti-serum or an ant-serum. I don't love that. Sorry. Oh, maybe like this, actually. Sorry, I'm unavailable. It could be no time or not me. Immune cell variation could be a serotope. This was Ray then, after all. What is this? Something's off. Maybe this is anti-venom or ant-venom. Jaws? Tried to convey could be drove at, and this could be oto as an ear-related prefix. That sounds vaguely familiar. What? G-A-O. Something is not right here, and I don't know what. This could be a lancet. This could be Mecca. Let's see. No. Something is wrong. I think I've taken long enough here. I'm going to pause it and try and figure out what I've done wrong. First without help, and let's see how I do there. And if I can't do it without help, then I'll have to try looking stuff up. Give me a second. Pause it here. I have a thought that I'm going to try here. I'm going to try this as serotype, such that this could be Palm Springs or Puerto Vallarta, could be gay Mecca. Let's see. Okay, well, you know, I mean, I love the theme. I think this is such a creative theme. Lots of resistance in the rest of the fill. Usually Sunday puzzles end up being a little easier on the fill side, with a more challenging theme. This time I found the theme quite easy to understand and to grasp right off the top, even though some of the entries, the theme entries, were not that straightforward. But I found the fill to be quite challenging. Not like a Friday or Saturday level of things, but at least a Thursday level fill, or even a harder Thursday level fill. A lot of tricky things, a lot of stuff I just didn't know. But anyway, let's take a look at the theme. So same difference as the title. There's no revealer. But essentially what it is pairs of intersecting clues, where the circled square, where the entry could be, or the clue could be effectively answered by the entry with or without the circled square at the intersection of the two clues. So looking at the first circled square here between 26 across and 9 down, a business traveler's convenience could be a company card with the D, or without the D, company car. And similarly, to go downhill fast could be to ski or to skid. Looking at the next one, 28 across, divisions on a map could be countries, or without the R, counties. And then 22 down, ruptures could be bursts or busts. Here, pop culture hit about dystopian technology could be Mr. Roboto, or without the O, Mr. Robot. And then 49 down, fuel source could be gasoline, or without the O, gas line. This one, 69 across, eliminators of some teams could be playoffs, or without the P, layoffs. And then competitive athletes' goal, perhaps top speed or top seed, as in a tournament. 2 more. We have an injection associated with a certain toxin. Could be an antivenom, which would be a formulation that's designed to counteract the effects of a venom, or it could be ant venom, which is a venom that might be injected into by an ant. And then here, intersecting that, sorry, I'm unavailable for 90 down, could it be answered by either no time, or without the I, not me. Try someone else, for instance. And finally, annoyances for ticket holders could be either train delays, or without the T, rain delays, for a different kind of ticket holder. And then finally, a decorative auto upgrade could be the trim, the overall style of it, or a rim. People get sort of custom rims for their cars. So that's the theme. That part of things, as I said, relatively straightforward, but there were definitely some challenges throughout. Has a ball for loves the occasion. Did not immediately present itself to me, but I was able to get it through the crosses. These two I found quite challenging, love, bead, and open up to. I feel like I'm pretty good at spotting clues that might be 2 words, but you don't often expect in 8 letters for an entry to be 3 words, and so this one challenged me in that way. I've not heard this word, depilate, to mean to remove hair from. I imagine this shares a root with maybe not, actually. Maybe. I was thinking capillary, but capillaries are for blood, and I was confusing it with follicles. So not sure about that, but I'll have to look this one up. This didn't help me at all, as I have not seen Euphoria. Went dry. Also, I mean, the clue does match quite well with the entry, but not a phrase you hear that often. Speaking of not phrases you don't hear that often, ROFL, rolling on the floor laughing, seems to have passed into somewhat of obscurity. LOL remains, and even LMAO I feel like remains, but ROFL, we don't really see that often, and wouldn't associate necessarily with the laugh cry emoji either. This still like vaguely familiar, but I don't really know what the rush is as far as sorority or fraternity entry procedures. Happy to get lowercase I pretty quickly, loom large pretty quickly, partake in system, was able to get through the crosses but pretty quickly. Doll of a guy was something that, again, I was able to get pretty quickly. Rostra here for political platforms. Again, I knew kind of what they were after, even though I didn't get the particular thing until I got some crosses. I knew that they were after something like daises or podiums or something like that. Oldster is not a phrase you hear very much, but sure, I guess. That's fine. AA cells is an uncommon way of describing a AA battery. but small-ish there points to the double A as opposed to the triple A. That's fine. A couple of side-by-side music clues, always fun to get those. I'm not terribly familiar with a crit as a term for I guess a critique kind of session. Odessa I thought was spelled with 2 S's, but it's perhaps that's the sort of anglicized spelling, or maybe even the Russianized spelling, and this is the original Ukrainian spelling. That could be. Native of the Delaware Valley, I don't know what this is. I'll look it up and let you know. Sororal, again, not a word that I've heard, but makes sense at least, sort of etymologically. Serotype, I recognize sort of the prefix sero as associated with immunology. I had thought tope because it was coming from things like isotope, but type makes sense too. Drove at took me quite a long time. I'm not familiar with palm strings or Puerto Vallarta being especially appealing to LGBTQ plus people, but sure, maybe it is. But that took me quite combined with this antivenom serotype, drove at, this whole area took me quite some time to get. Turned up also, I didn't until the last second didn't think of the sense meaning appeared. I thought it was like turned up the volume, that kind of thing. But at least this side of things was pretty straightforward to get, even though I don't really like this sense of the word secrete. Don't really think of this meaning of that when I hear that word. But anyway, so that's our puzzle for Sunday, October 19th, 2025. A really fun and, I mean, I would have to say quite a challenging construction in the sense that Daniel Grinberg had to find pairs of entries that would work both with and without an intersecting letter, and then find all of those put all those into a grid in a satisfying way. And he's got 6 pairs of these throughout, so that's quite an accomplishment, I think, and I tip my hat to Daniel for being able to pull this off. And the rest of it, a good Sunday challenge. So that's the solve for today. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up there. Leave a comment if you like. If you want to know when I'm posting next, hit that subscribe button and you'll get those notifications. That's all from Crosshatch Puzzles for today. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on the next time. Cheers.